morning, it's me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot, and we're here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us from our interactions with others, from our environment that we're in our ability to manifest the things we desire. All of that is based on our own energy. I am back. I had 2 days in a row off, which is the weirdest thing ever. I haven't done that in a while, and I don't even remember how to read, kind of. No, I'll be fine. Don't worry. But I was doing something really, really cool. I have a music Instagram and a music career as Pearl and the Prayers, and I was recording my single for the last 2 days, and it was really amazing. And it was kind of nice to just focus on only that for a while. Good morning, Kristen. So good to see you. I finished recording my track yesterday pretty much. We're just going to put the saxophone on next week. I can't wait for you to hear it. But it was really special. It was really good. And it really emphasized how important it was for me as a reader to have spent a week before going into that process focused on divine feminine energy with Empress Week. Because I was going in as a lead producer on a project in a studio in an industry dominated by men. And I wanted to bring my Empress energy to that project, and I did. And it went off well. So I'm excited. And looking at these cards that I can see for Divine Feminine, I'm like, yeah, no shit. So let's get started with her, because she was the first one that kind of spoke up this morning. She had the most cards showing, and then also the very first song I felt that came up during the shuffle, Come See About Me by the Supremes, was also applicable. The song that came up for Divine Masculine today, and do we feel weird that we haven't been talking about Divine Masculine very much for a whole week? Well, that's not true. We've been talking about him all the time. We just have to hear what he thought about it. But for his song that came up, it was Nat King Cole's version of Don't Get Around Much Anymore. So interesting energy. Can't wait to see what he's hiding over here. All right, let's take a look. Divine Feminine, top of the deck, overall headspace, forefront of the mind. Are you ready for it after a week of Empress Week? What are you thinking about? The twin flame journey. Shame on you, Divine Feminine. Didn't we get this out of our craw? No, we didn't. Because we'll never do that. Because the twin flame journey, I will reiterate over and over and over and over until I'm blue in the face, is about you. It's about what's inside of you. It's about having this other person who triggers you and you feel so connected with, and you can't really explain it, you don't understand it, and you explore the mystery of creation until you get to the source, which is you, and then you're like, oh, I'm complete on my own. That's the end result of the journey. But in this stage of the journey, with the Two of Wands upright, what we're really thinking about is that we've asked for something and it's going to be given. And at this point in the journey, we don't know what it's going to look like when it gets here. And we're not resisting this energy today. I don't feel a strong sense of frustration with it, actually. I think there's a lot of clarity here. This is one of the best spreads I've seen for Divine Feminine in a minute. And to start off with this card today, it's not making me upset. We're not upset about it. All right. The niggling feeling and the back of the mind, the niggling thoughts, the thing that's underlying all of her thoughts in general, from that general energy, is another reason why I'm not so worried. Because Divine Feminine's, in the back of her mind, is upright in this Queen of Pentacles energy. And you can't beat this for her. This is a strong, solid foundation. She feels nurturing and protective of what she has created and what she is creating. She's fertile. She's abundant. She sees the potential in it. And it's something she's done on her own. This is the foundation of the throne of the Empress. So to have that underlying all of her thoughts and decisions is pretty fucking beautiful, okay? We're excited. That's why this twin flame card, which also I just think looks like drumsticks, which is what I recorded this week, was the drums and the bass and vocals. I can't wait for the saxophone part. And I hate saxophone, and I have at least on 2 songs on my album because of the 80s, man. So that's the kind of flavor you're gonna get from my album. Just get ready. So this is good. Divine Feminine, she's like, I asked for something, it's given. And I know that because I'm experiencing my abundance. I'm experiencing my own Queen of Pentacles energy. And I know that I'm going to have that reflected back to me. First thing on her mind, the Knight of Swords. And it's not about divine masculine. It's about divine feminine. Taking the sword with that Ace of Swords, new ideas about the self, and picking up that sword in the Page of Pentacles energy, being brave enough to wield it, and then moving into this Knight of Swords energy where the actual training that we've received has given us the ability to swiftly cut through the bullshit and see very clearly what we need to do in order to continue to feel that Queen of Pentacles energy. This is being very honest with the self, very truthful, and it's seeing clearly. It's not being confused anymore. Oh, I can't stand it. The next card is the Queen of Wands, and it's upright. And I mean, do I need to explain? We got the Queen of Pentacles here, we have the Queen of Wands, we have this fiery energy, and then this is the current energy, right? This is where she is. She's a magnetic, passionate queen. She is moved and working on her own creations. She's shining. She's not holding back. She's not hiding herself. And looky, what does she attract when she's like that? Well, this is the future placement. The King of Wands, the match to her energy, a man of action, the masculine energy within self. That, okay, I can't deal with this. This screen better not be dimming every few seconds. That's all I'm saying, okay? Because that's what it's doing right now. No, Instagram. You're going to make me love somebody else if you keep on treating me the way that you do, Instagram. Okay. King of Wands, man of action. These are visionaries. Together, combined, the powers combined. I mean, the powers combined. This is impressive here. And this action energy, this willingness to have held this vision and allowed herself to shine, and then tap into her masculine worth energy to actually take action towards what it is that she wants to achieve. I'm going to see if switching my phone off of the low battery thing, low power thing will stop it. I don't know why it does that for Instagram, but it's like happening a lot. So it's going to be very distracting. Good morning. So her being in this energy attracts this energy. She's also in this energy, which of course then attracts one externally. So if she's in her own King of Wands energy, she's going to be attracting masculine energy that takes action, that comes forward, that speaks to her, communicates, makes plans and follows through. The next card up is the High Priestess. Listen, maybe we should do an Empress week every week. I don't know. Because after focusing on the feminine for a week, she is looking like every single divine feminine energy in her head is upright finally. She can see herself. And she's seeing very clearly, because this is the clarifier for this Knight of Swords. She is not confused. She trusts her intuition. She trusts in the feminine energy. The story that the feminine energy is weak, that it can't accomplish things, that it doesn't have, feminine energy's never been able to accrue as much wealth as masculine energy. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Bullshit. This is the divine feminine right now. She's like, excuse me, there is balance inside of me that gives me an incredible amount of power. And I am trusting. She's very, very trusting. And then the clarifier for the Queen of Wands energy, we have, and I just saw 9:44 on the clock, the Ten of Cups in reverse. And we keep seeing this card. And I would have loved to have seen this upright today, but it's not quite there yet. And y'all know it too, because you wouldn't be here if it weren't. It's there though. Spiritual fulfillment is here. The clarity that she's seeking through that intuition, through the High Priestess, is really just about being very sure that this vision that she holds for herself is truly in alignment with her higher self. That there's nothing in these cups that doesn't serve her anymore. that everything that is inside of them is really about her alignment and only her alignment. Not about her ego, not about anybody else, just about what pleases her. Because what pleases her pleases God, or whatever you want to call that energy. Because that is the energy inside of yourself that is seeking to be pleased. And sin is not when we do these specific bad things that a bunch of men listed in a book. Sin is when you have a passion, you have a desire, you have a vocation, you have a calling, and you ignore it. And you're not sinning against this big man in a chair with a white beard who's like jotting it down in a book and then gonna spank you when you get up there. You're sinning against the self which desires for the fulfillment. It desires for your dreams to be fulfilled. Those dreams, those passions come from source. And that's why you have an obligation to fulfill them, because that is you and that is what you desire. So sin is not like, oh, I stole a ring from the store and now I'm going to go to hell. It's like, I stole a ring from the store because, well, if it was financially, it was because I didn't feel like I had the ability to generate the worth that I know I have the potential to generate. So I sinned against myself because I told myself I wasn't worth it. If I stole it because I have some kind of an obsessive compulsive issue, I have some kind of a wound and I'm not looking at it and I'm not healing it. So again, I'm sinning against myself. Now, if you're sinning against yourself, are you going to be stuck in a bunch of shame about it? Because that's what we're taught in the faiths that we practice, that when you do those things, you should feel a lot of shame and then I guess go die. You're not worthy to do anything. I don't know what the point of that is. I guess the shame makes you aware of the transgression. Well, that's fine. You feel ashamed and that's your chance to go, oh, what did I do that was out of alignment? And then when you figure it out, you're like, okay, thank you, shame, for showing me, but now I'm going to own it and integrate it and move on. And that's what reconciliation and confession is about. Do you see how distorted all of these ideas have become because they have been filtered through the lens of masculine energy only, which is analytical? A masculine has a book and keeps notes. A feminine can feel whether something is fucked up or not. You don't have to go to court and be like, hey, is it fucked up that we're gonna like take all this land that we really should never have taken back from the people that we shouldn't have taken it from and then really just torture them and do all these terrible things? I don't need a fucking panel of judges to tell me, actually, I think that is fine economically and according to all these things that we have written down, seems fine to me. And then everyone is going, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. But the feeling we have about it not being right doesn't even fucking matter when we know that the feeling is all that matters. Anyway, there's my spiel about feminine and masculine energy today. All right, why am I so worked up and excited? Well, my life's exciting and so is the spread because this is the star. And this is the last thing on Divine Feminine's mind. She's not hiding anymore. When do we ever get to see this upright? This is beautiful. It is feminine energy. She has healed. She is taking the unconscious and she's pouring it into the material. She's receiving her wish fulfillment because she's doing shit. And you want to see that? That's here. This is the King of Wands. We didn't see any King of Wands over on Divine Masculine side for quite some time. He started to show up. I think maybe we saw it once. But finally, we're seeing Divine Feminine with this energy. She's like, okay, this masculine energy is not going to do it. I'll take care of it. And she's really shining. All right, let's look at her heart space. Top of the deck, overall feeling of the heart space, very interesting. Because the niggling thing in the back of our mind is this Queen of Pentacles, and there's the Pentacle, right? Well, here's the heart space. It's the Ace of Pentacles, and it is in reverse. So, there's an offer someone's not getting. Good morning, Julie. Either she is not giving something, or she's holding on to something, or she's not trusting that she's going to get something. But there is a little bit of like energy around this Ace of Pentacles that's kind of, it's a withholding. And it's her own withholding. And it's like her holding back. Now, we saw in her headspace that she is ready to shine. And we saw that the general energy of the headspace encountered to this Ace of Pentacles is trust. Because it's the Two of Wands upright. And it's not entirely comfortable to be there, but it's just like if your niggling feeling is you have this pentacle, then your heart's feared that you're not going to get a reflection of it, or that, you know, you can't quite offer it. It's just part of this process. It's part of figuring out exactly how to go about now giving this offer. She could also be feeling emotions in regards to offers that have been withheld from her. And that might be why she's countering with that Two of Wands in the headspace that's like, listen, I asked for an offer and I know I'm going to get it, but it's still being withheld from me. And one of the reasons I think that might be true is because the niggling feeling in her headspace, oh my God, I just saw the first card, damn. The niggling feeling in her headspace is the King of Swords in reverse. And the King of Swords, when he is in his shadow, is very icy, cold, and aloof and withholding. He's very strategic. He doesn't really talk about what his plans are. He hides them. He doesn't want to reveal any details that enemies can use against him or competition. Doesn't want to give any sorts of like a leg up to competition by revealing anything too soon. There's that aspect to this energy. And there's also overthinking, like a lot of overthinking. And we don't really have a ton of overthinking in Divine Feminine's headspace in terms of the cards that showed up, but we have a lot of overfeeling in the heart space. So what I think we're seeing is there's a lot of feelings going on underneath all this headspace. It's like, I'm shining, I got, you know, like I know what I want to do, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing things, and stuff's happening, and it's great. And then the heart space is like, oh shit, like, be careful with this. Do not drop this and break it. Do not give it to the wrong person. You don't know yet what it's going to look like. And so the heart is kind of churning through some of this fear and anxiety a little bit. And it's requiring this, like, you know, King of Swords energy to be like, all right, cut it out. You know, like, cut it out. Stop being crazy. Everything's going to be fine. Because the first card that is here in the heart space that's clarifying the head space is the same. It is the Knight of Swords. I love this. This is the willingness to be honest with the self in the head and the heart. And it's in that same position where the High Priestess is clarified. So there's so much trust in your own intuition here. And there's so much clarity. And there's not blindness. You are seeing. You're not... You know, there's no scales over your eyes. There's not fog over your eyes where you're just kind of like willfully allowing the world to, you know, kind of just reflect whatever fear you have. It's like, no, I can see things. I can see where things were good. I can see where things were not good, but I can see. And it's a swift moving energy too. The head and the heart are feeling this motion, this swift motion. Interesting. The Empress. Now, I have not seen a more Empress-like headspace, but we're getting the Empress in reverse, and she's clarifying this Queen of Wands, and I think this is because the Empress is a fixed energy who's waiting. The Queen of Wands ain't gonna wait for nobody. She doesn't need to wait. She's got all the ideas, and she's got all the inspiration, and she's got all the motivation, and she's got all the magnetism, and she doesn't need to sit and wait like the Empress does. And it's not like she has to go chase anything either. It's just she's not waiting for shit to happen. She's like, oh, shit is already happening. I'm making shit happen as we speak. That Knight of Swords, this is what I'm seeing. First of all, I am the Empress, and I don't have to sit here and wait for somebody to fucking see that. The King of Wands, that match to the Queen of Wands energy in the headspace. The clarifier for this is the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is interesting because here's the heart space throwing up this little bit of emotional reactivity, and the head space being like, nah, we're good. We are taking action. We are not going to allow feelings we've had about someone or something or whatever, like, stop us from our movement forward. We are going to go and continue forward. We are not going to be ruled by our emotions. The headspace is like, no. You might be afraid of the sadness that you might feel, or, you know, or even the joy or happiness you might feel, because your 10 of Cups is in reverse still. You're still a little tentative about this. And the headspace is like, no, no, no. We're taking action. We're holding vision. We've got this under control. We're inspired. And we're going to complete what it is that we've sought to complete. The heart space is also, I think, wanting to just pour out all this emotion too. It's kind of kept pent up inside. The pentacle that's being withheld, it could be artwork or ideas or creativity that, you know, has, that now the headspace can finally see the potential, and it wants to just pour all of your heart into it. That's another meaning I'm seeing there coming from that Queen of Cups in reverse. This High Priestess, she's being clarified by the Eight of Wands. And this is in the column with the Knight of Swords, Knight of Swords. So do you think we're moving? We are chugging along. And Divine Feminine is trusting her intuition in regards to this motion and regards to receiving and sending messages. She's no longer trying to manipulate this energy. She's trusting in this motion and momentum. And she's not trying to control the speed or the flow. She's really going with the flow. And consequently, we see her in this Nine of Pentacles energy, which is getting her reward. It's about being single. It's about being fabulous. It's about being able to experience to indulge yourself after you've worked so hard to be able to accomplish this abundance. And she's finally in this feeling of being able to fully experience this reward. The headspace is just concerned about what exactly this looks like, because we associate this Nine of Pentacles energy usually with a specific iteration of someone. And we look at it as letting go of that energy potentially when we see it in reverse. We saw it upright, so we do know that Divine Feminine is focused on a certain reward. And her headspace is thinking, do you know what this is though? Are you sure? Because we're in the Two of Wands energy, which is we've asked for something and we don't know what it's going to be. That's not Three of Wands. Three of Wands is like, we know what we're getting. We can see it coming in. But the headspace is a little bit like, don't get too attached, Divine Feminine. Like, you're feeling this energy right now. But this is also, it's clarifying that Empress in reverse energy too, which the Empress in reverse can be very protective of what she has. And it's like, be careful that you're not so attached to this experience and you forget that it's about the journey and you start thinking it's about the experience. Like, that's that slippery slope that kind of, you know, slid us right into Empress Week last week. But that's okay. If that happens, we'll fix it, just like we did with Empress Week. So there's really nothing to worry about. That's why that Two of Wands is there, which is like, this is the journey. The Star is being clarified by the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Magician in reverse, and the Fool in reverse. So, Divine Feminine, this is interesting because your headspace in your star energy, your heart space, if all these cards were upright, again, if the spiritual fulfillment card and these cards were upright, I would have just gotten up from my desk and like left the apartment, because there would be a limo outside waiting for me to take me to my mansion, pretty much. But the spiritual fulfillment card and these three cards are coming in reverse. So here's the fear that you have to work on, Divine Feminine. And I'm sure your oracles are going to help us. You are afraid that your wish, because of this Nine of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups being in reverse, you're afraid that this wish fulfillment is something old, that it's based on old ideas about this powerlessness you have over this Fool. And you feel that this is in your headspace, this is what you've been working on healing and is processing this. these old ideas about your powerlessness, not using all the tools you have, or about being powerless to someone that's acted foolish, or being powerless to your own foolish decisions and energy, which is always the case, by the way. And so there's just some processing, some clearing, and some healing that's going on, because until you can fully release these fears about having behaved in certain ways and thinking about what you don't want, you're still going to be afraid to start something new. You're still going to be a little too cautious to come fully into your power and embrace a new future. But we're going to shift these cards upright for you. And we're going to trust that this star energy that you're seeing today and the reading here today is going to help you realize that these are just fears, because when you looked at all of the rest of the spread, your power and your vision and your ability to generate abundance cannot be disputed. So let that be some security to you after hearing this reading. Are you ready for Divine Masculine? Is everybody ready? I don't know if I am. Oh my Lanta, flipping the cards over. Stop it. Stop. Oh my God. Dead. Sorry, get a new reader. Top of the deck, overall headspace for Divine Masculine is the Nine of Wands in reverse. Are we ready to come out of isolation, Divine Masculine? Or are we resisting healing deep inner wounds? Let's think about it. If I reflect upon my own masculine worth energy, I'm pretty sure I'm ready to come out of isolation. So, and that I've been doing a lot of the healing of the deep wounds. And because I have been following my own readings for a year, I know that whatever state my masculine energy is in, that is the energy that my masculine is in. There is so much union in this spread just from these first 6 cards, technically 8 cards, that we are absolutely in union. So Divine Masculine energy, he has worked on his deep wounds. He has reflected upon them. He has licked them. He has healed them. And he is heading out of isolation now. And he is also seeing Divine Feminine as having done the same. And this is one of the things that is making him feel more confident about his ability to reflect this energy back to her. The niggling thing that's bothering him in the back of his mind right now is that he is not able to work with this Divine Feminine energy. He wants to work with her. He wants to be able to create something with her. And he, underlying everything right now, is that he's not able to do this. He's not able to be a part of whatever it is she's working on over here in her headspace. Girl, she's visionary. She's taking action. She's got all this, Queen of Pentacles energy. She's clearly working on something. And he wants to be working with her as a team. We're also seeing him still having fear about being observed in this process. He wants to be able to work with her, and he's still afraid of external validation or just the reception, how people will feel about this or think about it or what they would say. And so there is still this feeling of like him holding back from working with Divine Feminine energy because he feels like there will be some kind of criticism about that. The first card in the headspace of Divine Masculine, which, if you recall, was the first card for Divine Feminine in the headspace and the heart space, is the Knight of Swords. So, as I say every single day in my readings, your masculine energy inside of self is a reflection, right? And when you are in union in self, which in order to be in your Empress energy, in order to be in your King, in your Queen and King of Wands energy, in order to have all of that on this side of the spread, on the feminine side of the spread, we got to come over here and see that in union over here. And we do. First thing. The first thing on Divine Feminine's mind was to see very clearly, to be truthful, to be honest, and to move swiftly. towards her dreams, right? The Queen of Wands, which was her dreams, and then the King of Wands, which was taking action towards her dreams. And then the High Priestess, which is being completely in balance. And then the Ten of Cups. And then the Star. And Divine Masculine starts out with her on the same page. He wants to be honest. He wants to, with himself. He wants to bring truth and honesty. He wants to be in his integrity. He wants to follow a plan. And he wants to do this swiftly, because the next thing that we see is the Chariot, which is that balance. And of course, the High Priestess card, the Two of Wands, and the Chariot are 3 of the twin flame cards in the deck. So this is an energy right now of union. And it doesn't matter if you put that label on who you're with. It doesn't matter. Just don't pay attention to the label. Pay attention to the meaning of the journey. Union. If I do this, this is reflected back to me. And that is it. That is what we learn. And what is reflected back to me? But my own realization that I am whole and complete inside of myself because I am source. So Divine Masculine is wanting to be just as honest with himself about this balance, and he wants to take this swift moving action and move forward. And he's not letting he's surrendering his ego, and he's letting the divine drive the Chariot. And because of that, this next card is here. The Ace of Pentacles. Good morning, Cheryl. Which we already saw in Divine Feminine's heart space. The offer that's being withheld. Divine Feminine, are you a reflection or are you a reflection? Are you salty about the offer being withheld? Did we visit your heart space? Withholding, being a little too protective of your offer, being a little too protective of your goods, so to speak. Well, Divine Masculine is being really honest with himself about the reasons why. And he's feeling this swift energy where he wants to move towards actually being able to just give this offer to Divine Feminine. There's the Magician, which we already saw over here. And we had to turn it upright for Divine Feminine because it was in reverse. And she needs to embrace her power because Divine Masculine has embraced his. So these are our chances in the readings to see where we need to bring change. So instead of being focused on this person that you're trying to get with, focus on what I'm saying today when you're looking at these cards. If your masculine energy is here and you're here, are you a match? Almost, but not at all, because you're the opposite. You're in the opposing energy. In order to be able to attract the external thing that you desire, you must feel equally powerful. And part of Empress Week was getting your power back, and you're still working on that. Just keep that in mind when you're watching these readings and you keep thinking about this other person that you want to be with. These readings are not about the other person you want to be with. This reading is about yourself and understanding that there's part of yourself that feels powerful and part of yourself that does not. But your whole self is powerful. So this part of self has to see the other part of self. They have to see it and they have to believe it, and then you'll feel union inside of yourself, and you will feel agreement inside of yourself. And the agreement that you will experience, it won't be about what you don't want. Is this what you don't? Is this what you want? No, you want this. Do you see how this process works? It's not about the other person. This is about whatever is holding you back. Because your Ace of Pentacles would be upright and your Magician would be upright if it wasn't for this disconnect. You don't understand you have this power inside of yourself quite yet. That's why your heart space is like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. I held the Fool up instead. Significant. You're being a fool. You're not trusting, right? This is your power, okay? And I'm going to keep hammering this in. Sorry if I turn into a broken record. You know you need to hear it. Divine masculine energy feels powerful, feels like they are using all of his tools to be able to do what it is that he needs to do. Which in his headspace is that Knight of Swords energy, which is be honest and tell the truth. Ace of Cups. This is clarifying the Chariot. So when we surrender our ego to the divine, we have the ability to receive from the divine instead of from someone else. When this card came up in a reading with Grace Strega a while ago, we were really reflecting upon how this cup is an empty cup. And it's like, it's almost like it's being held up and like waiting for someone to fill it up. And the divine masculine is realizing that the filling up the cup is not divine feminine's job, right? It's his job to fill up this cup and actually have something to offer to the divine feminine. And he gets that by being in balance inside of himself and by trusting in the divine to drive the chariot, not from the divine feminine herself. That's not how he can fill up the cup. And he's aware of this. This is in his headspace. He's like, I can't get this validation from her. I can't get this permission from her. I have to get my own permission. I have to care for my own damn self. Ugh, my cards are being a pain here. I'll move them over. Stop falling. Okay. Next up, Two of Swords. Stand still. But you know what? I know I'm free because my ego is like, who fucking cares? And like really believes that. It's like, being a standstill, babe, I got shit to do. I got hot girl shit, okay? Divine masculine sitting on it. He's gone within, trying to decide exactly how to give this offer that he's withholding, or whether to keep withholding it or not, because of his fears and anxieties about what people are going to think when they see this union, this reunion, this coming together in the 3D, when they see the material manifestation of this collaboration. He's on the fence. He doesn't want to make the choice. He's like, if I give the offer, this will happen. And if I don't give the offer, this will happen. And I don't know what to do here, which is why I'm trying to be honest with myself and like trust that I just need to let the divine decide. And we know what happens when the divine decides things when we're in the Two of Swords energy. So he's ending his headspace there, and that's a strong standstill for him. That's a opposition to the movement coming from the Knight of Swords and the Chariot. It's like, go, 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 stop. The niggling thing, or I'm sorry, the top of the deck for the heart space, we saw 3 times. And why are we seeing unity in withholding of this pentacle, guys? And I mean that by all inclusivity, all of the peoples of the earth. Why is this our union in this spread? I guess the other aspect that's good is that our Knight of Swords union was really, really in union, which is like, well, at least we're being honest with ourselves about what's going on. So he's withholding this offer. And he feels he must. That's the overall feeling of the heart space. The overall feeling of the heart space is like, don't give it up right now, because the niggling feeling. I'm using the Tattoo Tarot, and the Tattoo Tarot has 6 cards in it that are early iterations of existing cards in the deck. So if I get those early cards, for me, it's a real strong reference to past energy. So his heart is like, you can't give this offer because you're not ready to come out of isolation. You still have to heal these wounds. You're not completely done healing, Divine Masculine. And you might think Divine Feminine is ready and you want to be with her there, and that's why you're feeling this urgency and you're feeling this push. But there's a fear in your heart space that you really aren't ready, because whatever wounds you received in the past, you're still working on healing them, or you haven't faced them yet. And so, despite your headspace really wanting to speak up in this Knight of Swords energy and just be a badass and come in and say everything that needs to be said, the heart space is urging Four of Swords. It's urging silence. And it's grieving that it has to remain silent, but it just feels that it needs to heal still. That even though the headspace wants to rush in, it just still needs time. This Page of Cups energy is in reverse. This Chariot, this headspace, this is why there's a surrender here. There's a feeling that the innocence and I guess the innocence of love has been lost for this Divine Masculine, that he's still really uncomfortable with feeling this raw emotion, and he feels still childish about how he expresses, and he is still afraid really of true love. Like, he's still really afraid of this experience. And he feels this Chariot rushing in, and it's like moving too fast for him. He doesn't want to appear awkward and unprepared. He doesn't want to feel underdeveloped. So he's remaining quiet, trying to heal these feelings that his wounds from the past are so extreme that he just can't possibly express himself. He also is resisting the apologies that have to be made. He just might not be somebody that likes to apologize, honestly, and it might be really hard for him to admit when he's wrong. So there's resistance there too. This offer that he's withholding, there's the Ten of Cups in reverse, which we saw for Divine Feminine. And this is also an earlier iteration. So he's withholding this offer because of his past. This past Ten of Cups that he either believed in or, found out or thought he wanted, realized he didn't, or the family that he had from before, that this is the only reason for him, this fear about what happened or what will happen because of what happened. This is why he just will not relinquish this offer. He just will not give it to Divine Feminine. But this Magician energy, where he's using all of his tools and he's co-creating with the Divine, it's being clarified by the Five of Wands in reverse, which is a very positive energy because it has been a struggle with himself to really feel that he has the power to unblock, that he has the power to release these fears about his past spiritual fulfillment, about his inability to express, and really finally move forward into that Six of Wands energy because he is no longer struggling against himself. And this Ace of Cups, this is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. So we have a very slow and steady movement, but very, very slow in offering this cup of love. But it's not fast. And the Two of Swords is being clarified by this Ace of Swords in reverse. So while the headspace is like, I don't want to make a decision about this because it's too hard to face my wounds from my past, that's That's where you're going to be stuck, Divine Masculine. If you can't embrace new ideas about yourself, if you can't face your past and heal your wounds by going within and doing that work that you need to do, you're going to continue to experience this old energy and this fear of seeing yourself in any other light. So you will be afraid of that. Let's help out. All right, Divine Feminine. You are in the light attributes of the goddess energy. I'm sorry, no, you're in the shadow attributes. Let me rephrase that. You need to come into the light attributes of the goddess energy. Right now, there is a little bit of exploitation of the female nature and form. And you need to come into the light, which is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So, in your desperation, Divine Feminine, you may have tried some things to try to capture that Divine Masculine attention. And it's not in alignment with you. Your Empress card was in reverse too. You want to maintain your Empress energy. And come into that light and express that feminine through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Just understanding that subtle difference between exploitation of your form and expression of sensuality. Saint Mary Magdalene is here to assist you with forgiveness. So I'm in my ego is in a peaceful place about this reading. Like, honestly, because I had such a strong experience of Empress Week, I really did start to develop the habit of not caring what Divine Masculine is doing. I might find it interesting. Good morning, Maya. I might find it interesting to see where his energy is, but it doesn't sway mine. And I think it's really interesting. I do feel a lot of peace. And I think it's come from forgiveness of myself for wanting to know what that Divine Masculine is doing, or wanting to think about that energy, or wanting to, like, it's just been about just being like, that makes sense. That is okay. You are fine. It is okay that you feel that. It is okay that you still want that. You can still go on the dating app and talk to people, though. You can still go on this date later. It's okay if you feel any way you feel. I forgive you for still needing that. I forgive you. I don't think this is about forgiving Divine Masculine today. It's about forgiving yourself for having a masculine energy inside of self that's not ready yet. That's okay. You can be not ready. You can be not ready from wounds you still have to heal. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to judge yourself for that. So being very forgiving of self. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. I love this. I feel like we just did this. We tried for months to do these Divine Feminine Masculine readings and get closer to consciousness, and we made some headway. And then we hit a wall. We hit a real wall where every one of those readings was like, is going to make the choice, and he's going to make the choice, and nothing's happening. And we were just stuck in that cycle. And I was like, no, I'm going to give up my style of reading completely. I'm going to do whatever it takes to access consciousness and be able to feel content and complete in this moment now. Healing. We are experiencing deep and profound healing. And that is why we're on this journey. It's not for any other reason. We might think it is. We say, oh, I'm going to be so happy. Yep, you are. You're going to be happy today. There's going to be something today, I guarantee you. I'm psychic. There's going to be something today that's going to make you extraordinarily happy. And then maybe later, maybe something happens that makes you fucking so sad. And then you're going to watch a show and laugh. And you're like, it's so funny. And then you're going to watch the other show that you saved because it's stressful. And you're just going to be like, oh my God, I can't even believe this bitch is going through this. This is terrible. And you're going to cry with empathy. And then before you go to bed, you're going to think about your whole day And if you have moved into a state of healing and you start to have real appreciation and joy and gratitude, you're going to feel bliss. And then you're going to fall asleep. And you're going to get up and you're going to do it tomorrow. And that's what it's about. There is no other reason. There is no other thing. You are not going to find anything else. There's not anything else to find. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are alive. You're doing it. You and your loved ones are safe. And this is a Cancer energy, which is like usually about your home and your relationships and your family. You are safe. You're getting the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. Now is the time. All these pieces are coming together. And just in case you weren't really confident about it, you're getting the Ant Spirit card, which is literally time to collaborate. So these pieces, there they are. They're falling into place. You're getting these intuitive hits. You're finding all of your soul tribe. You're calling them in around you, your friends, your relationships, the family members that are starting to heal and pull towards you because they're healing their wounds, because you've been doing this healing of these deep, deep ancestral wounds. You're doing good, Divine Feminine. And it's because you stuck with me through Empress Week. And you really did try your best to think about yourself and to start to understand that these readings are only about you. And even if I only focused on the feminine energy for a week, it was because you needed to raise the feminine energy up in her worth inside of you so that she had just as much of a voice as the masculine energy has been given for years inside of you, right? Divine Masculine, you are right now in the shadow attributes of the Prince. This is using power for self-aggrandizement. You need to come into the light, which is romantic charm and understanding your potential for power. So again, look what you're withholding. You're withholding this because of power and control. You maintain control. As soon as you make this offer, the control that this false sense of control that you have disappears. Because as soon as you're like, can you please forgive me? I would like to apologize for what I've done. And also, would you consider, me as a potential option? As soon as you word vomit that out in whatever way you can do that, the feminine energy then has control of you by saying yes or no. And so you just hold on to this offer simply to maintain your power. You don't want to be powerless to Divine Feminine. Your guardian angel is here to support you in receiving your reward. This is also a card that reminds me of the Nine of Pentacles, which we saw over here for Divine Feminine, which is about feminine being single and fabulous. It's also about releasing attachments to the reward. The reward has to be love itself. Love itself is the reward. It's not about hearing it from someone else's lips. It's not about feeling it from their fingertips. It's about feeling love, period. If you feel love, you're receiving your reward. Saint Bernadette is here to help you speak your truth because you're having a hard time. You've got the Knight of Swords energy that's like, bitch, speak. And it is clarified by the Four of Swords energy that's like, nah, I'm good. You've got the Two of Swords energy that's like, don't say shit. You've got the Ace of Swords energy that's like, please say shit. So you have to have divine intervention here. And your guardian angels and Saint Bernadette are like, all right, let me help this bitch out. So accept the help. And you're getting Saint Francis of Assisi card. There's a lot of huskies up in this spread. I'm feeling salty. You know how many times I try to get a husky? If anyone has a husky and they would like to bring it to me, I would be very happy. So I keep trying to get them. And the universe is like, no. Why? All right, anyway. Divine masculine energy, Saint Francis of Assisi, loyalty, companionship. You still are afraid about divine feminine's loyalty, which I'm just like, come on. So you're getting help here. This is also about unconditional love, which is a component of power, right? Power has conditions embedded in it. Unconditional love makes you feel powerless. There's really nothing that the other person can do that will make this love dissipate. This could also be a call, if you do have companion animals, to, seek comfort in them too. And it's about the peace that comes from allowing things to be as they are in nature. Attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. So, divine masculine energy, all of these fears and worries you have, all these anxieties, that is your soul, your deep, deep soul, saying, please pay attention to me, pay attention to me. I was a little child and somebody neglected the fuck out of me, and now I am all by myself out here in these streets, and I need you to pay attention. Please help me, please. That's all it is. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Can we just drop shame? Like I said, if you feel shame, it's just that you're like, oh, I must have done something that's out of alignment with myself. Okay, let me figure out what that is. Thank you, shame. Moving along. Can we have that relationship with shame? Oh, thank you. Like, pet it. Oh, like maybe it's an annoying dog that barks next door, but it's cute. And you're just like, you're fucking annoying, but like, thank you. Please stop barking. God damn it. Right? That's what shame is. Turn shame into an annoying barking dog that's a little bit cute because you get to go interact with it for a second and find out what the fuck it's barking for. You're like, oh, you just need a fucking water? Okay, Jesus Christ, there's some water. My God, you're so annoying, right? That's shame. Confidence. This is Archangel Michael energy. Confidence. You're getting some. Take it. Embrace it. Run with it. Do shit with it. We're excited. Can't wait to see it. Hey, can you please surrender to the divine? Please do it. Here's your card again saying, can you please do that? Please do that, though. We're all waiting for you. Thank you. You've got that chariot energy in your headspace. You're ready to surrender. You have surrendered, and we're all so happy about it. The initiation. Rite of passage. Crossing over. Remember, never a pleasant feeling. Never a pleasant experience. Initiations. There's pain involved. Sometimes there's mutilation even. It's extreme. I'm glad we don't do that as much. It's a lot. But you have to experience that attack, pain, fear, whatever the hell, that exposes the wounds, that shows you where you need to have the calls of help, that shows you how you can improve yourself so that you can come out of the cave of your own darkness and enter into the light. And last up, divine masculine, you got to deal with your past because there's an elephant in the room here. This card says, learn from the past. So far, divine feminine's looking real good. And divine feminine is looking like she's not holding on to past energy at all. At all. But you're still not learning from the past. So there's still something here where you still keep doing or not doing something that's keeping you from seeing the feminine side of self in union with self. Blah, I get confused even talking about it, so don't feel bad if you don't fully understand it. When I first discovered Abraham Hicks, I remember listening to that for years and being like, what? But feeling really curious about it and being like, no, there's something here, there's something here. And I would keep listening and listening and be like, ugh. I don't, oh, it's so weird. And then, like, now when I listen to Abraham Hicks, I'm like, oh my God, that's so easy. Oh my God, of course. Oh my God, exactly. So when you are coming to these readings and you're like, let's define masculine as the feminine, inside of the feminine is the masculine, and the masculine is like cartwheeling and never doing anything. What is happening? It's fine to feel that way. It is fine to feel like you don't quite understand, because that is the whole point. The whole reason why the divine masculine is like, I can't say anything because I don't know what's going on. And the divine feminine is like, what the fuck, I'm doing everything. I'm doing all the things. Is because there's still a part of yourself that doesn't quite understand exactly how this masculine energy functions inside of self, because you disconnected yourself from it because you were either told to, or you had to, or you were afraid of masculine energy, or whatever. And the masculine is having the same experience. The feminine side of self in his heart space is like, we are in love, we are taking action, we are feeling powerful, we are understanding the power of our emotions, we are understanding the power of the feminine, we understand all of this stuff. And the headspace is like, I don't know about all that. And that's what you're supposed to work on. All right, bottom of the deck for both of you. You are both in the light attributes, thank God, because you're in a bunch of shadow today, the light attributes of the dilettante, which is delighting in the arts without having to be a professional, and alerting you to the danger of becoming too superficial. So you don't have to be good at everything. You're willing to try everything. You're willing to try whatever. You're gonna throw something on the wall, see what sticks. You're gonna go date some new people. You're gonna go have some new experiences. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know exactly what you're doing. Well, at the same time, you're also not being superficial either. You are not being in a situation where you're just trying to do something for appearances, or you're trying to do something. You're telling yourself, oh, I'm going on dates, but it's only because I really want to manifest my divine masculine. No. It's you being like, I understand that if I just dabble in this and I don't really try to make connections, I'm not really doing the work. I'm being superficial in the work. So there's this awareness here that you have to actually do these things. Your guardian angel is here to support you in stress management. And this is always a card for you to be acutely aware of the amount of stress that you are frequently under that you just don't even acknowledge. And this permission from spirit to manage it instead of ignoring it. And to do things that are going to relieve stress. Right now, you should be taking supplements of some kind. Find somebody who can help you decide, like, what kind of supplements you should be taking that will help you reduce stress. You know, like magnesium citrate or CBD oil or whatever. There's so many options. We live in stressful environments. There's noise pollution, there's air pollution, there's food pollution, there's thought pollution. Like, we live in a stressful time, in stressful places. And there is a really a call for you to take it seriously and to do things that will alleviate the stress, which will help you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. I don't know if you've been here for the whole reading, but some time ago now, I said that the journey was only about love, and that if you that love is the reward, right? That is it. Just to feel love is the reward itself. This card says, when I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. I just deliver the messages. Boundaries. Maintain the boundaries you have put up. If you put up boundaries, maintain the ones you put up. A week before Empress Week, we had some boundary setting. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to accept this. Maintain these boundaries. These are good for both of you. Have faith in your dreams. This came in reverse because you really need to keep the faith that the things that you dream, the desires that you have, the vocation that you feel, that is what you are meant to do and to be. And when the universe decides you are meant to do and to be something, Every single breath that is taken after that point is meant to draw you closer to the thing. And free will is the only thing blocking you from receiving. And it's wonderful because the free will takes you along this incredible meandering path. And when you finally release that urge to control, which the divine gave you, it's like, let's give them a semblance of control. As soon as you release it, you feel the relief of coming home and being like, I didn't have to do any of that. It's just taken care of. That's the journey. That's all you're supposed to learn. That's it. Then you go. And you either come back and learn it again because it was fun, or you stay up there and you guide other spirits because you're like, bitch, I'm not doing that again. That shit is crazy. I'm never going on that ride again. Fuck. I don't care if you give me Dramamine for the next one. God damn it. Just depends on how fun it was or not. And then you're getting this beautiful card. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It is happening. It is happening. Exactly what you want is happening. There were times when I would say that in the last year of doing these readings, and I would be like, oh, that means that I'm going to get my divine masculine. And today I can say with confidence, exactly what I want is happening. And this is the divine masculine. I don't see him. He didn't give me shit. I gave it to myself. That's cool. Let's pull some last cards just to see what can we do today to come into alignment. And these are minor things. Now, let me tell you what. I've been doing these things. When I pull these cards and I go back and watch the readings, I do the things that the cards tell me to do. Even when I'm like, are you fucking serious? What the hell? Like a couple weeks ago when it was like, oh, block the divine masculine. And I was like, what do you mean? All this shit is happening. I don't get it. And it's like, nope, promise isn't good enough. You better fucking say it. It's not good enough. Then I had to do that. I was like, I don't even want to do that. And I didn't want to do it. But I was like, whatever. I have been not doing what the card said every day. And look at how that's working out. So I'm going to try actually paying attention to my own messages. And then I had the best week of my life this week. And I followed the Empress Week directive. And I feel like a lot of the divine feminines in my collective reached out and they were thankful. Some of them like really, really thankful. And I wouldn't have happened if I didn't do what I was told. And that generated a lot of magnetism for me. And did it bring my specific iteration of my divine masculine into my living room right now? No. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm really okay. All right? So do what it says. If you wanna. But remember, you got free will. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can take as long as you want to do any of this shit. I don't care. Please like, subscribe, share. If you're watching me on Instagram, please save this to a playlist of all your favorite readings of mine, which will probably be every single day, I'm sure. That helps me out. That gets my page out. For some reason, my viewership plummeted after I tried to go into the creator mode and came back to it wouldn't let me do music or whatever. And so now I just don't get seen as much. So if you save my post, that will really help me. If you're watching this on YouTube, I think you can do the same thing, make playlists or whatever and just save me to that, and then like and subscribe. There's a link in my bio for Patreon. There's additional content there, and my music is coming out. So you want to get on my Patreon to really get all the updates and have all of the we're probably going to release like little demo things and clips of different things like that, and you'll be able to get all of the insider stuff from my Patreon. So that link in my bio or underneath this or whatever. Okay. Here's what you need to do to be happy, to be content. Let's say content, because you're going to be happy and sad today too. I guarantee you're going to have both experiences because we do that every single day. Divine Feminine, you need to lay it on thick, honey. This is a seduction energy. This is attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, and third-party interference, but I'm not seeing any negativity coming from that. We're getting coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. So I feel, Divine Feminine, that you need to continue working on this flirting, dating energy. Continue to work on this. If you're resisting meeting up and conversing, or if you're putting it off, don't put it off anymore. Actually go on a date, a virtual date, a real date, but like get out there, get it done, and have a good fucking time. Then you are also getting the Three of Wands and the 10 of Swords. And this is really trusting and having faith that all the pieces are coming together, right? Heaven on earth, it's happening. And that this feeling of being stuck is a thing of the past. There was a painful separation, but there's an understanding that you can see now pieces coming into place, and that this separation has served its purpose, and that it's time, right? The Three of Wands is a card about time. It's time for you to get out there and actually start to experience energy, other energy, and just, you don't have to get married. You don't have to, you're in the dilettante energy, right? The dilettante energy is like, you just need to go see what's out there and have fun. You don't have to make a lifelong contract with the person, okay? So just do that. Just honor that. Divine Masculine. I cannot make it up. I can't. Separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future, and this photograph card in reverse, which says, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, and making new memories. And you also had this learn from the past card in reverse, and you had past stuff you're not dealing with, and you also had what was the other card here that is reminding me of, the separation one, this one. Attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. So Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine is doing really swell, and that is upsetting to you because you're like, fuck, she's going on dates and shit. Huh. But you're clinging to the past. And you're focused on missing her and the separation. And what you get, what you think about, you get. So you have to take your focus off of the separation. You have to understand that those feelings, that the feeling of having to be stuck in the past and missing them and yearning and yearning and missing and missing and yearning, it's not about a specific iteration. It is about the source. It is that you're clinging to past behaviors, which are sinning against yourself because yourself wants something else, and you keep resisting looking at any new ways of being because you fear making a decision. So release this desire to focus on the past and become unblocked in this Five of Wands energy by putting down the responsibility and communicating the truth and the apologies to Divine Feminine. That's advice for Divine Masculine today. Stop focusing on the past and put down the burden. Now, for Divine Masculine, the burden is upon him to communicate. So for Divine Masculine energy, he must put down this burden and communicate and express the things that he is afraid to and communicate this offer, right? That's what he has to work on. If you're a feminine watching this, my feeling for you to apply, how does the feminine apply the masculine aspect to her life in the storyline that we're in? The burden of her responsibility is to put down a specific iteration of Divine Masculine. It's to release the responsibility that you are supposed to communicate to make this happen. That is not what you're supposed to do. The masculine energy, it's their responsibility to communicate these things that they have been hiding from the feminine side, protecting the feminine side from. And this past energy, you must put down that burden. Stop looking at it. Stop observing it. Continue, even though we are now doing divine masculine feminine readings, continue in your headspace to be an Empress week. Be the Empress when you hear this reading. Maintain the knowledge that this is a reading about you as a whole person. And then we're getting this card in reverse for the bottom of the deck. Unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, and falling in love. And it says kisses on it. Don't hold yourself back from falling in love with others. Don't do it. It will not serve you. Remember, you are just supposed to accept the love of the universe as your primary teacher. And understand that when you do that, you will always be guided back to the light, which is the true meaning of the twin flame journey. The true meaning of the twin flame journey is not you coming into alignment with a specific person. It is about you being guided by the light to yourself. And it is much more fulfilling than any one person could ever be. People are limited by their egos. They're limited by their physical bodies, their physical forms. The source has no limit, and it is more fulfilling than any experience you will ever have. I hope this helped you today. I am so happy to be back and reading with you. I wasn't even sure how this was going to go. It took a long fucking time, so it must have gone well. Thank you so very much for being here. Please go follow Pearl in the prayers and be a part of my journey as I release this record. I'm so excited about this track. I really feel like I have happened upon something that's really a masterpiece for me in a long career. I've been doing this since I was young. I'm going to cry about it. Being a woman yesterday and doing and directing and being like, no, not that either. Not that. But I like that. That's good. We can do that. Okay, I like that. No, change that. Don't like that. You do that. You do that. You do that. And stepping back and being like, bitch, I was just the queen and king of wands right now. That was a good feeling. And that's what I specialize in. I want to tell you, when you jump in my DMs and you want a personal reading for me, I'm more than happy to accommodate. I have limited time, but I do work with people individually. When you come to me with questions about your masculine energy, I'll give you answers. And then when we get to the end, my specialty is not to get you into union with that person. My specialty is for you to figure out how to be in your own production session in a studio of your choosing with people who support you, helping you make an incredible masterpiece for yourself that will fulfill you. And then you can have any energy that you would like to be around you that is a reflection of that. That's what I specialize in. So if you want help doing that, I'm your lady, okay? Have a wonderful day today. Take care. I will see you here tomorrow morning. No, tomorrow is my day off because I didn't have a day off yet. So no, I won't see you tomorrow morning. Saturday morning. This is a weird week. Sorry about it. It's my life this week. But Saturday morning, I shall be here bright and early. Divine Feminine Masculine reading. And then Sunday we'll be on here again with Grace Strega. Stay tuned for that. That's always a blast. Thank you so much. Have a great day. It was good to see you, Kristen, and everybody. Maya, Michelle, Julie, thank you. Bye.